We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast for women. And the vision for this podcast is to have honest conversations with women about the things that women are interested in. There's a number of topics about women. And you might be asking, Mark, you're a man. Why are you involved in this podcast? Because I have a wife of 39 years. I have 4 daughters that are now adult daughters. I have 5 granddaughters. I have a heart for women that's insane. I mean, it's just insane. And I don't feel that by and large, people are telling women the truth. I don't think the government tells women the truth. I don't think churches, synagogues, mosques tell women the truth. I don't think women tell women the truth. I don't think, men tell women the truth. I don't think anybody's telling. I think women are hungry for the truth. I just think they are. And so, so there's, we might come up with a rating system like the movies, like this is a G rated. So what I've found is interesting. Amy Xie from China, she came into my world, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, over 15 years ago it was. And she was a Chinese, woman from China. She was probably, I was in my early 50s, maybe mid 40s. She was probably in her, I don't know, mid 30s or something. And for the first 3 months, I told her what she wanted to hear, how amazing she was and how spectacular she was. And all of those things are sincere. Like, I will not tell a woman something, or a man, I won't tell people something unless I really believe it. And so for the first 3 months, I went ahead and told her what she wanted to hear. Naturally, she really liked me. And then after 3 months, then I told her something, that she didn't like. And then she got really angry with me. I have found this to be true, honest ladies, with most every woman not every woman, but most every woman I've met. If I tell them what they want to hear, oh my gracious, do they like me? And when I tell them something they don't like to hear, oh, they do not like me at all. So after 3 months, I told her something she didn't like to hear, and she's like, "You don't understand Chinese." Like, she was so angry. And I started laughing, which is something, I have social autism, ladies, so I have a disability. We'll get into that in future podcasts. But I started laughing, and I said, Amy, what's interesting is when my oldest daughter and she was 12, and I was over in Russia. You know what the Russians said to me? Mark, I don't understand Russians. When I was over in Africa with my son, you know what the African said? You don't like me. You don't understand, you don't understand Africans. My wife says, you don't understand women. You know what what my kids say? You don't understand millennials. So it's something with human nature. I mean, white males over 50, they don't like me either. I mean, and so there are things that, so if you hear something offensive, rather than go ahead and get all dramatic and get all angry with myself or whoever's the guest on the podcast, how about if you just take a deep breath and say, what do you mean by that, Mark? Like, what do you mean? Like, here's something that probably will infuriate women. Women, I'm just telling you this. There's stuff I know about you you don't know about yourself. Just saying. I was hoping that Cheryl would get angry and upset with me. But she didn't.
That Cheryl would.
So there's things I just know about women that women don't know. They don't know about themselves. And so if Cheryl would go ahead and get upset, that's kind of cute. I like when women get upset, they get poosty, they get like, "Arr!" And so I like that. But if she said, so Mark, I'm curious, like, what do you mean by that? And I would explain it. If Cheryl were to say, so Mark, do you think that there's things that women know about men that men don't know? I'd say absolutely. Absolutely, totally. And so, which of these four shapes would you tend to like? Which of these four shapes would you tend to like? A cube, a pyramid, a wavy line, or a ball? A cube, pyramid, wavy line, or ball? Join the Life GPS mobile app. It's through a nonprofit organization. There's no cost. It takes a couple minutes to do it. As soon as you do that, you'll be assigned or you'll be introduced to somebody from the group that will help mentor you in getting the most out of it. This group is not just for women. It's for men too. So men, if you want to understand women, this is the group to participate in, because you will understand women like you more than you wanted to understand women. I'm just saying. And then which of these four things would cause you the most frustration? Out of order, out of control, boring, or not fun, or conflict. So you put them in order, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Based on this, there's 65,536 possible combinations for personalities. Once we identify, our personality or somebody else's personality, we know our strengths, weaknesses, what we like, what we don't, turns them on, turns them off, if they're married, who they're married to, conflict of marriage. We know what they say. We know why they'll connect, why they won't. We know what they're going to think before they actually think it. This stuff is absolutely crazy. It's got some super cool stuff as it connects back into mental health and those types of things as well. And so we're going to be covering those. If you're a woman and you chose the ball, one of your greatest strengths might be your concern, compassion for people, or you chose conflict with others. So if you chose the ball or conflict with others is most frustrating, you're like my wife. And so one of your greatest strengths would be your concern, compassion for people. One of your weaknesses would be your concern, compassion for people. Our greatest strength is our greatest weakness, and our greatest weakness is just our greatest strength misapplied. It's taking a strength and carrying it too far. If you went ahead and chose the wavy line or boring or not fun, one of your greatest strengths would be your energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. One of your weaknesses might be your energy, excitement, and enthusiasm. If you chose the wavy line and the ball, you'd be a fun, outgoing person, like to be the center of attention. People are going to you're the life of the party. You're going to enjoy. People are going to love being around you, and you're super, super nice. You might be a third or last born. And if you are, you likely will go ahead and be attracted to an analytic man, maybe an analytic driver man. So we tend to like people who are like us, and we tend to fall in love with people who are opposite of us. And so the very things that draw us together in relationships are the very thing that push us apart. If you're test out here, you're going to have challenges with the task. Oh, I'm on vacation and I have granddaughters in the back. If they were grandsons, I'd tell them to be quiet. But because they're granddaughters, I'm like, you know what? You can talk. It's okay. I treat girls and women totally different than I do boys. I give them a lot of extra privileges. Anyways, and I love when little girls giggle. Boys too, but girls they're cool. If you chose the pyramid or out of control, you'd be tested out as a driver personality. So one of your greatest strengths would be your drive, your assertiveness, you make things happen. One of your weaknesses would be your drive, your assertiveness, you make things happen. Again, greatest strength, greatest weakness. If you chose the pyramid or the cube, you'd test out as an analytic personality. So one of your greatest strengths as a woman would be you like to dot your I's, cross your T's, make sure things are done properly in order. One of your weaknesses, you like to dot your I's, cross your T's, make sure things are done properly in order. So again, greatest strength, greatest weakness. You have a primary personality, and then you have a secondary personality. It's when I ask the test, when I ask you which of these four shapes, if you answered, if your answer was, I don't know, I kind of like them all, or I don't connect with any of them, or you said, this is a stupid test. Any of those things, then what you test out is a chameleon personality. And so you kind of connect with all. One of your greatest strengths is a chameleon personality, is your flexibility. One of your weaknesses is your flexibility. Albert Einstein said you can never solve a problem on the level it was created. What does that mean? It means we as women, and by the way, just so you have heads up, my wife, I'm a driver analytics, a very stereotypical man, for sure. So drive assertiveness, make things happen, and I like to do things perfectly in order. So anything that you see that's caring, compassionate, or really fun and exciting, it's all fake. No, I'm just joking. It's not fake. It's just I developed those skills for my wife and my daughters. So 75% of women will test out in the amiable, expressive area, and 25% of men will test out there in the driver analytic area. 75% of men will test out here, 25% of women will test out here. And so if you're a woman and women don't like you, but men do, especially in business, you probably test out as a driver analytic. And so the reason women don't like you is you intimidate them, and they don't like you also because men like you because you actually get things done. Don't have a lot of drama, just get down to business and make it happen. And men in business, man, do they love women in business that are like that. And so Albert Einstein said you can never solve a problem on the level it was created. What does that mean? It means we create our own problems. And so how we think. So it's how we think. And so to solve our own problems, ladies. Oh, my wife, she says, even though I'm a stereotypical male, she says, you're more of a woman than I am. I've had 3 black women, totally separate situations, say, Mark, you are a black woman. So women tend to connect with me a lot and very deeply. I think it's because I'm honest with them. And maybe they've never had a man be honest with them. Maybe if the man's mad and angry with them, they're honest with them. But otherwise, men typically don't. They're not honest with women for multiple reasons, another podcast. But anyways, in being able to understand our personalities, we understand ourselves. We understand why we think. So women, if we have a problem, the only way to solve that problem is to think differently. We need to think differently about the situation, and we can solve problems. So hopefully this has been a helpful introduction. Pass this along, women, to, all the other, girlfriends that you have, the other women friends that you have. If you have a man in your life that doesn't understand you, go ahead and pass it along to him, because this will teach men about things about women they will not learn anywhere else. And it's really, really cool when men learn about women and the differences in how they think and how that can complete them as a man and help them in ways they never dreamed possible. If you have any questions, connect with the individual who invited you to participate in today's session, or you can call toll free 888-230-2300 outside the US 630-393-9909. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.